What's in a name? An NFL player by any other name still probably doesn't smell like a rose. Hey, you try training for 4 hours a day. Anyway, the truth is, there's a lot riding on a player's name. It's what's on their jersey, it's what's in the headlines, and let's face it, some names just strike fear in the hearts of the opposing team. But today, we're going to talk about NFL players who changed their names for better or for worse. Sometimes these name changes went along with a boost in their career. Sometimes the opposite happened, and sometimes they were just laughable. But before we get started, we'd like to see your name on our subscriber list, and that means you'll be the first to know when we drop new content, and when you hit the bell icon, it means you'll get instant notifications about our latest videos. We know you're already digging through YouTube, so why not save yourself some trouble and sign up now? We'll wait. All done? Okay. So, about these names, let's start with one of the most heartwarming reasons for changing a name. Maurice Jones-Drew, formerly known as Maurice Drew. Sometimes a name is more than a name. It's a way to honor those that you love. And for Maurice Drew, football was second only to his family. And he added the Jones surname as a way to honor them. Jones-Drew grew up in Oakland, California, where he lived with his grandparents, Maurice and Christina Jones. He was extremely close to them, and they were devoted fans, attending many of his games with the UCLA Bruins. Already, Jones-Drew was showing himself to be a fantastic player, setting multiple records on punt returns and rushing yards, but in his final college game, tragedy struck. His beloved grandfather passed away from a heart attack, and his coach had to deliver the bad news. He was devastated. But he knew what he had to do. He added Jones to his surname before the start of his professional career and paid tribute to his grandfather as he continued to set records with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're sure Grandpa Jones would have been immensely proud. Chad Ochocinco, formerly known as Chad Johnson. Well, technically Chad Ochocinco is Chad Johnson again, but for 4 years, he was playing under a new last name, which is Spanish for 85, his jersey number. As a wideout for the Bengals for 11 years, Johnson secured pretty much every receiving record in the franchise's history and made waves with his iconic touchdown dances and other antics. On October 25th, 2006, during Hispanic Heritage Month, he announced that he was changing his name to Chad Ochocinco. 4 days later, he was sporting the new name on the back of his jersey, for which the NFL fined him $5,000. That didn't sway Johnson, though. 2 years later, he legally changed his name to Chad Javon Ochocinco, and the Bengals had no choice but to allow him to wear the new name on his jersey. This brings all of what I am together into one thing, he told reporters. However, he also admitted that he thought the name change would be good for sales because fans would have to buy the new jersey, and it was also just a good PR move. Fair enough. Johnson/Ochocinco entertained the idea of another name change in 2010. Showing off his custom jersey reading Hachi Go, which is 85 in, you guessed it, Japanese. Unfortunately, Ochocinco did not perform as well the remainder of his career, and he changed his name back to Johnson after the Dolphins signed him. After his domestic violence arrest, though, Johnson was released by the Dolphins, and the saga ended there. Mark Super Duper, formerly known as Mark Duper. Through his 11 seasons with the Miami Dolphins, during which he was named to the Pro Bowl 3 times and racked up 4 1,000-plus yard seasons, Mark Duper earned the nickname Super Duper. He became only the second player in franchise history to obtain more than 7,000 career receiving yards, and he also racked up 511 receptions and 59 touchdowns. Obviously, Duper was proud both in his accomplishments and his nickname, and eventually, he legally made the name switch to include his nickname becoming Mark Super Duper on paper. Sadly, Duper has been diagnosed with CTE despite not having a record of concussions. He's now an advocate for CTE awareness and research. William James, formerly known as William James Peterson Jr. Apparently, cornerback William James Peterson Jr. decided that his name sounded too much like a crime author's and maybe didn't fit on the back of a jersey too well, so he dropped the surname and suffix and just became William James. He made the name change upon signing with the Eagles, with whom he played for 2 seasons. During his 9-year career, James also played with the Giants, Bills, Jaguars, Lions, and 49ers. Abdul Kareem Al-Jabbar, formerly known as Sharman Shah. Just before the start of his pro career, Sharman Shah attempted to legally change his name to the one given by his imam. Names are very important to those who practice Islam, and Shah wanted to use the name Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in his NFL career. There was just one problem. NBA champion Lou Alcindor had already changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 2 E's instead of an I. And in a bizarre coincidence, both players had the number 33 and had attended UCLA. The basketball player filed suit claiming that Shah was trying to capitalize on his success to grow his fame, which is a little petty when you consider that we have multiple famous people named Michelle Williams. Unfortunately for Shah, the court ruled in the basketball player's favor, and Shah was ordered to abandon the name that his imam had given him. So he went with Abdul Kareem Al-Jabbar in 2000. He went on to play with the Dolphins for 3 seasons, followed by brief stints with the Browns and the Colts. Ahmed Rasheed, formerly known as Bobby Moore. Ahmed Rasheed is known for his sports commentary and as a longtime player with the Cardinals, the Vikings, and briefly the Buffalo Bills. He knows his stuff. You might know his name from the miracle at the Met, when he caught a Hail Mary pass that secured a surprise victory in the Central Division title for the Vikings. He was also nominated to the Pro Bowl 4 times and is listed among the 50 greatest Vikings. Like others on this list, he received a Muslim name from his imam when he converted, and thus Bobby Moore became Ahmed Rasheed, which means admirable one led to truth. His career is certainly admirable, and he's well known for his career as a sportscaster, so we think the name change was a good choice. Juju SmithSchuster, formerly known as Juju Smith. As a wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Juju SmithSchuster started his NFL career by busting records, including becoming the youngest player to reach 2,500 receiving yards. But back when he was crushing it at USC, he decided to add the Schuster to his name to honor his stepfather. He was a little apprehensive, telling reporters, "I don't know how it's going to sound when the commentator says Juju SmithSchuster on the catch," he said. "Hopefully they can just call me Juju." In the end, the childhood nickname stuck. Surname be damned. Styles G. White, formerly known as Greg White. Ever love a movie so much you think, I'm going to rename myself after one of those characters? No? Well, for then tight end of the Buccaneers, Greg White, there was no cooler name than Styles White, a reference to Jerry Levine's character in the Michael J. Fox comedy Teen Wolf. In 2008, he got it legally changed, adding the Z to the end of the name for that extra bit of pizzazz. Well, at least they didn't have to redo his jersey. He Hate Me, formerly known as Rod Smart. We're reaching on this one because this wasn't an official name change, but the name is so ridiculous that we've got to include it, right? Torold Deshaun Smart, or Rod Smart for short, was signed by the Chargers as an undrafted free agent in 2000, but he first played with the Las Vegas Outlaws of the short-lived XFL. Under XFL rules, jerseys could include whatever words or name the player wants, and Smart decided on this grammatically incorrect phrase. Here's how he explained it. Basically, my opponent is going to hate me. After I win, he's going to hate me. It is what it is. It's a saying I was saying when I'd feel something wasn't going my way. For example, when I was on the squad in Vegas and the coach was putting other guys in, if I felt like I was better than them, hey, he hate me. See what I'm saying? Give me a chance. That's all I ask. It came from the heart, within, the way I felt. I feel as if everyone hates me. From my mom to my dad and even my brothers and sisters. Everyone hates me. Well, whatever motivates you, dude. Smart insists that the proactive nickname earned him the attention of NFL scouts and eventually landed him a role on the Eagles. Unfortunately, though, injury held him back throughout his short-lived NFL career, so it's hard to tell if the weird nickname really paid off. So again, we ask, what's a name? For these NFL players, a lot. Some of them are so well known by their new name that we don't even recognize their old one. Others made their new name a bit of a publicity stunt, or their career took a bit of a dive after their change. Either way, it raises some intriguing questions about what a name really means. Which name change did you find the most surprising? Anyone we missed? Let us know in the comments. We love comments. Oh, and be sure and like and share this video if you enjoyed it. The more fans who we share this with, the more we can continue to put out awesome content about all things NFL. And we know you'd appreciate that. So tap the subscribe button and drop a comment letting us know your thoughts. We appreciate you. Until next time, have an awesome day.